Welcome everyone to another RDB Reviews with Ryan, episode 32. Am I right?
Yeah, which is the Halloween edition.
Halloween edition, fantastic. Halloween.
Because not too long now until Halloween comes to our homes. Or probably there will be a lot of Halloween or trick-or-treaters because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I think Halloween is going to be a victim of the current global crisis.
Yeah, but I think it won't be that problem because they got their mask on.
In a sense, I mean, if only, man. If only everyone masked up in February, we'd be so used to it now. But we only adopted mask wearing recently, stupidly. Anyway, Halloween next year, we'll have to make up for it. But Ryan has got some Halloween-themed illustration. Topics are...
Halloween-based, like pumpkins or everything.
Cool.
But got the other thing associated with Halloween, which is dressing up.
I remember, Ryan, back in May, we spoke about May the 4th be with you being missed by people.
Yeah.
People can't dress up outdoors.
Oh, yeah, I haven't got to that one yet.
No.
But we'll probably get to the by the end of the year.
Worry about May in 2021. So it's been a bad year for people dressing up.
I know.
Outside freely.
Right, the first one I was going to do today, which is a very recent Halloween movie, which is starring Adam Sandler.
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah.
Right.
Starring Adam Sandler. Probably everyone from Saturday Night Live. The movie was bad.
If it's recent, I feel that it wouldn't be great with Adam Sandler in it. I don't feel that he's been great in many films recently. He's kind of a throwback to the 90s.
The only best performance of him was in Uncut Gems.
What's that now?
Which was one from early January.
This is the poster that Ryan just showed us for a recent Adam Sandler installment. So it's directed by Stephen Brill, by Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler, not surprisingly. Plot, it's October 31st in Salem, Massachusetts, and a town's eccentric and the good-natured object of his fellow citizens' derision and meanest pranks finds himself in the midst of a real investigation for a real murderer. They nailed the Halloween setting and atmosphere very well, but in the cons, watching this film wasn't fun. It was a shame Adam Sandler's performance in this film, and this film wasn't scary or funny. So that makes me laugh. But it managed to not be either scary or funny, just cashing in with the Halloween.
Well, yeah, or probably just another bit of both. Adam Sandler just doing his usually comedy stick.
Yeah.
Which is not that funny, very childish.
That's it. He's just an angry, stupid child.
Yeah. Just another bit of Netflix pushing content out there.
Yeah.
Because they got stick competition.
Speak on that, Ryan. Who would you say is competing with Netflix?
Well, let's see. Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and if you count them, HBO Max in America.
Yeah.
So they're basically like trying to put content up there to get the most films out there to probably for families that are not going to cinema anymore. So they're like, here everyone, there's more content for you to enjoy.
Yeah, and films chiefly. This is the weird thing, isn't it? Movies used to go cinema, DVD, and then eventually TV, and now it's just all streaming.
I know, but this could be a good thing as well.
Well, it means that you get to see it. If it's a movie like Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie, you probably wanted
I saw that.
You did see it?
Yes, seen it finally.
I was going to say, you want to watch that in a cinema. Did you watch it at home?
Yes, I saw it on my phone, actually.
Wow. Quite a scale down. How was that, Ryan? Quickly, was that good?
I thought it was a very complicated film. I thought it was such a joy to watch.
Okay, good. We can go back to that another time if you like. I just wanted to know good or bad.
No question about it, yeah.
Cool. Halloween content just to fill the market, and whether or not HBO, Amazon, Disney are doing the same, whether they're all chucking out Halloween stuff. Netflix, as we've discussed, has this problem where they just throw things out there and the quality is not great, and it will reflect on them badly, we think.
Oh yeah, it definitely will reflect so badly.
Because I suppose there's so much on Netflix that everyone has their niche. Everyone finds what they want to watch. But if they keep putting out stuff quickly that's not great, it will give people the impression that it's not quality.
Yeah, or probably they will have no choice but to rewatch our Netflix content that they like on there, like Sex Education, Stranger Things, and all their other past films they put on there.
Yeah, and that is the joy of having it streamable, is that you can rewatch something. It's nice to watch something twice, I always say, if it's good.
So basically, I felt the film was bad.
Yes.
And I felt like it wasn't both funny or scary, really.
Yeah, it's a shame. Adam Sandler has done a few good performances in his time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Happy Gilmore is my favorite one of his, but that's just silly.
Well, all the other... Well, I actually saw all the films. I feel I do remember the one that my mum showed me with one of the co-stars, which was a very babyish old Sprouts. Probably this is an old one that my mum showed me, which she pretty much can't remember. The other one I saw was either Pixel.
Yes, we spoke about that at the cafe. That is game related, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did like it first because of all the video game characters, but some of it very stupid.
that's in a
Definitely
nutshell.
what they've been doing is what they've done to Brian Cox.
What did they do?
I thought the brilliance from X-Men 2, which is his performance from X-Men 2, pretty much just like a complete goof.
Okay, this is in Pixels. I've not seen either.
Which is a incompetent, general, like an incompetent general who just bark all the time, like blah, 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 blah.
Is this Brian Cox, the older actor?
Yeah, the older actor.
Yeah, okay. Because there's in the UK, there's Brian Cox, the physicist on TV, and it's very confusing. But Brian Cox, the guy who's in the Bourne movies and Manhunter. Yeah, okay.
And also, Josh Gad shouting loudly to the army about how to deal with these. Well, that film meant to be like aliens, but
this is Pixels, is it?
Yeah, Pixels.
Thank you, Ryan. Sorry.
So yeah, I was just thought very stupid, but the way they did the animations for the video game characters coming to life was really well done.
Yeah, having watched High Score recently that you recommended to me, I might want to watch it just for that, just to see graphics, just to see.
Oh yeah, just to see graphics everywhere. And they had the original creator of Pac-Man in the film.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Only to get eaten by Pac-Man and pretty much just got eaten alive. And
yeah, it's like Frankenstein. My monster got me.
Yeah, try to talk him down.
That sounds fun.
Talk Pac-Man down, but instead got his hand eaten anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, we're just going too far away here.
Moving on.
That's it. Yeah. So I thought this one was so bad.
Yes. Okay.
Probably will recommend this on the this Halloween season.
Now you've got hopefully probably more recommendations for Halloween, Ryan. Any more on Netflix, or is this Netflix's thing? Is this what they're pushing for Halloween?
Well, yes, I actually do, which is the 2 Babysitter movies, which I'm gonna point out. I'm gonna smash both. The first film, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I'm just gonna point out, I'm gonna smash this one and the sequel together individually.
Okay, so this one is The Babysitter, a film by McG.
Yeah.
And then this is The Babysitter Killer Queen, which is the sequel.
Yeah. Which is later this year. Or this year. Which is basically, which I thought the first one was a fun ride. Yeah. definitely so I can see my girl a better falling in it.
All right, good stuff.
And Robbie and Mel. Yeah, I think she's Addison, the cheerleader.
If you think of the film Halloween, where you've got a murderer stalking around on Halloween itself, is this Halloween related at all?
Oh yeah, definitely Halloween related, which is well, gory violence.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was set around the time of Halloween or if it's set in the summer.
Definitely is. It does feel like Halloween feels of it.
Ryan's plot for this quickly. When Cole stays up past his bedtime, he discovers that his hot babysitter belongs to a satanic cult that will stop at nothing to keep him quiet. Ryan was looking forward to watching this over the Halloween holiday. He enjoyed the performance in the film. You end up rooting for Cole to survive his nightmare. The film is well pasted and well directed, and also it's known when to get silly, goofy, and barbaric. In the cons, times it can get too serious for its own good. I don't know. It already sounds good.
Well, yeah, sometimes it does feel like sometimes it does get too serious for its own good.
Yeah, McGee, know your place.
Yeah, like the only McGee films I really enjoy was the 2 Charlie Angel films that we talked about. And that's pretty much it, really.
Okay, he's got a reputation for not being liked by actors and making films. Go on.
Well, yeah, I think he's like I think a really good television director.
Okay.
But not film.
All I know about him is Bill Murray punched him in the face, and Christian Bale had that meltdown on the set of Terminator.
Salvation.
Yeah, where he just got so upset.
Which, to be honest, I actually remember what happened in that film.
Yeah, I think that was Christian Bale's point. It's such a bad movie. He just realised what he was doing and had a meltdown.
Yeah.
What am I?
all I could think of is just almost either just the Terminator skeleton, a CGI Arnold Schwarzenegger, and look at Moon Blood, the female antagonist in the film. Just look at her being sexy. And that's pretty much it.
That's McGee in a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so this was a good fun, going back to Babysitter, this was good fun. It sounds relatively original. I mean, it's very Hammer horror, give him a pass, but then he makes a sequel.
Because, like, I think this is, like, their hack of, like, just taking time to actually, like, do we need to make a sequel to this, or do we just, like, no?
Do we rake in the money, or do we just accept that he made a good film? Let's not tarnish it. So the plot for number 2, 2 years after defeating a satanic cult leader by his babysitter, plot spoiler, by the way, very sorry, everyone, if you wanted to watch the first one. Cole once again has to outsmart the forces of evil when old enemies unexpectedly return. Ryan was intrigued how to continue from the first one. The sequel was more of the same, and I like this one more than the first. That's encouraging. In the pros, the film was a lot gorier and crazier than the first. The return of the original cult followers are back with a vengeance, and they had a lot more to do than the first. A lot of twists, turns, and absolute bonkers moments, and this sequel goes far more of the same from the first movie. In the cons, the sequel was a little too long, and some of the jokes didn't land with me that much. So you enjoyed it more?
Oh yeah, I did enjoy it very, very more.
Yeah.
Which is actually definitely what I said is definitely better than the first.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the stuff happens at the very end. It's pretty much just, I will say it for spoilers alert from the ending, which I won't spoil here.
You teased us a lot, though. There's something about the ending that Ryan wants to tell us, but he won't tell us. Okay, no. So bonkers, jokes didn't land. Go on.
Well, yeah, I will say a quick thing about the ending, just quickly. It's just like bonkers. You're like, what? You just one of those ending that, like, you know what? Let's just accept it.
Fair enough. It sounds good, Ryan. I mean, I'm encouraged now. I wasn't thinking it would be worth your time, but do you think it would make a good double installment? You could watch both of them at the same sort of sitting.
Well, yeah, if you enjoy the first one.
Yeah.
Or, this is what I said this morning, in my head. You can either two things. Either one, go into this one knowing you haven't seen the first one and just accept and just enjoy what you're watching.
Yeah.
Or you need to watch the first one in order to appreciate the sequel.
Okay. Just making associations in my head, Ryan. Have you ever seen Jeepers Creepers?
No.
All right, never mind then. I was just going to say the sequel to that is disconnected to the original, and you can watch them in any order, and then you can watch them all together, and it all bundles up, these sort of horror films. You could enjoy a Halloween night watching McG if you've seen Halloween to death. So, good stuff.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
This is all on Netflix as well. Yep, so far...
Both of them are on Netflix, yeah.
So all three recommendations so far are Netflix related.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to watch the Adam Sandler, you can watch The Babysitter instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably just be a waste. For your enjoyment. Right, going from Netflix for the time being to going to straight to DVD.
Yes.
With the latest, newest DC anime feature of the Terminator Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons. Okay, so as Ryan says, DC, the movie. Knights and Dragons, the movie. I don't know the character. My first thinking was Deadpool, but he looks more like a knight.
Well, yeah, he's more like Deadpool, yes.
You've got the colour scheme and the outfit.
Yeah, like DC Deadpool, but he's serious.
It looks CG, Ryan. Is it animated feature?
Oh, yeah, without question.
We spoke earlier in our reviews about the 52 continuity, the movies that DC were putting out that were all to do with a timeline and a storyline. Is this different now?
Yes. This is like standalone.
It came out when?
I think earlier this year.
Okay, so it's this year. So it's following on from the DC 52 continuity, which Ryan explained.
Not really like just being like his own
Sorry.
standalone film.
What I mean is it's after that. It's separate to that continuity. That's its own thing. This is a standalone film. Sorry. So the plot, Slade Wilson leads two lives. One is the relentless killer known as Deathstroke, and the other is a dedicated family man. When these worlds collide, it is the killer in Slade who must fight to save his loved ones, as well as what remains of himself. With his soul torn apart and his young son held captive, Deathstroke will have to atone for the sins of his past to fuel the battles of his future. I was looking forward to watch this one to see what it's all about. The film was badass. In the pros, the story itself was more focused on man under the mask. The film pushes the 15 rating. Voice cast really well chosen for their roles. The animation style looks so unique and fresh. Surprise, character, plot twists make you think you are setting in for a sequel. In the cons, I don't know if this film is connected to the new DC animated universe, and the final confrontation is like what you see in action films 1,000 times before. So, generic ending.
Yeah.
When you say you weren't sure if it connected to the other DC films, is that really it? Or is that just you wondering?
Well, yeah, just wonder. Only time will tell.
It's one of those things like with the Star Wars universe. You don't quite know if these things are meant to connect. They might. They might find a way to connect it later. So, Deathstroke, Ryan, is he a comic character of old, or is he a new character?
Well, yeah, definitely an old one.
Okay.
Which only appeared recently, like in the mainstream consciousness since Batman Arkham Origins.
I see. So he is a Batman character.
Well, yeah. Normally, like he's like a main villain for like the Teen Titans.
So he's of that generation. He's not necessarily Batman and the Joker and Penguin. He's more about the newer characters.
Yeah, it's basically like a guy that just collects bounties for other baddies.
Okay, yeah, he's a Mandalorian type character.
Pretty much.
But he's also a family man, so we see him without the mask as a family dude.
Well, yeah, that's what I like about this film, is trying to separate between the two personas.
Yeah.
The dedicated family man or the assassin Deathstroke.
Interesting, Ryan. The last one that we spoke about, which isn't Starlight, it was Stargirl, and also Black Lightning. Both of those have a family dynamic with the superhero stuff. and I likened the Stargirl to the Incredibles because it's superheroes and powers, but then you've also got this family dynamic. So does that play heavy in this, the family dynamic?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good.
It, actually, his wife in this is pretty much badass as well.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember her name. Names that are associated with this film, to me, is either Tiger, which is pretty much, if you see from the recent DC animated movies from the past, or a few guest spots in the Arrow TV show, Jackal, and Adam McKay, which is like his officer, but also his wife. And Jericho. And no, it's not related to Chris Jericho, the DC comic character Jericho.
Got you. Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it for now. But I will say it does push the 15 rating so much, make a lot of children to pretty much not see this film. Too violent.
Interesting, because he's got swords. He's out for violence. Maybe if it was a manga, or an anime, sorry, that would have been a lot more appropriate, because then you could have all the blood and stuff.
Yeah. And when you watch the ending, it's pretty much like the way the film started. And also it does feel like, by the end, it does feel like it's setting up a sequel in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But, or maybe that's just the way to just leave it to be. But I might be wrong, who knows?
Fun when you're left guessing. So you made the point that it could have a sequel. The suggestion was building up to it, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. And also, there's a lot of action in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of heads coming off, a lot of bloodshed everywhere.
Is it set in America in the contemporary world? Is it set now?
Oh yeah, definitely it's just set now.
Okay, so it's not set in like ancient times where head chopping off was a thing.
Well, not really.
Okay.
And the voice actor is very well chosen. Like you got the guy who used to play Ben Grimm in the two live action Fantastic Four movies, Michael Chiklis.
Yay! Oh, the thing, yeah. Michael Chiklis is great. I like him.
Yeah, voicing Slade Wilson.
Okay, good.
I thought he was great in this. And also, Sasha Alexandra.
Yeah.
As his wife, mostly. And mostly it's gone pretty much unknown people here. Pretty much unknown. So yeah, I thought this one definitely not the week for the weak at heart.
Okay, yeah. So strong constitution
for children to collect it. So pretty much parents need to take their children onto bed before watching this one.
Gotcha. Well, you said it was 15 rated, so you know if you are 15, chances are it's not going to give you nightmares. But if you're a very young child, I was able to watch some stuff I shouldn't have watched when I was a little kid. The Terminator, that kind of thing. It's hard to police watching when you're at home because the whole family has access to the Netflix. But yeah, it's a 15 rated film. Ryan is telling you.
Which you can buy this on DVD.
Excellent.
Or Blu-ray.
Do you have it on DVD or Blu-ray yourself?
DVD. Say the film is really good, actually.
Just Blu-ray DVD, yeah?
Yeah.
Not streamable.
And now let's get to Amazon Prime with the second season of, we discussed it before, The Boys.
Oh, okay, cool. I have now watched the season 2 of The Boys, and we were talking about there being a season 3 in the works. So you're aware of that, yes? Season 3 is...
And also I think they're doing a spin-off of it as well, like a prequel.
Season 3 is yet to air. Season 1 and 2 have now been broadcast.
Yeah.
Season 3, did you say that one has been filmed, or it's just been announced?
Oh, just been announced just before season 2 started.
I see. Okay, got you.
Because I think they just had everyone at Amazon probably or Prime Video, I got to remember to say it properly, Prime Video, they pretty much have so much faith in this property.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, greenlight season 3 right now.
Wonderful, because I read a thing. Now, this is Netflix, but Netflix are stopping doing long-running seasons because it's not worth them, apparently. Rather put out new content like we've been complaining than stick to a golden, like, you know, have you heard of The Sopranos on HBO? That ran for about...
I heard of it, yeah.
That ran for years on HBO, and it was, you know, it was a staple. Could be a bit boring, but you'll probably not see that happen again. You won't get a program that will run for 10 seasons because they would rather new content.
I can think of South Park.
South Park's a good example, and Comedy Central, where South Park is hosted, that's their product. But if it's Netflix, HBO, or Amazon, or Disney, chances are they're going to not do more than 2 or 3 seasons from now on. I hope I'm wrong, but if that's the case, we should be very grateful that we're getting The Boys season 3, because The Boys is very good. If I may, right, we spoke about The Boys back in the spring when I hadn't heard anything about it, and you did a great job explaining it. If I can read the plot now for season 2.
Go on.
The even more intense, more insane season 2 finds the boys on the run from the law, hunted by the Soups, trying to regroup and fight back against Vought. In hiding, Huey, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Kimiko try to adjust a new normal, with Butcher nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Starlight must navigate her place in the Seven as Homelander sets his sights on taking complete control. His power is threatened with the addition of Stormfront, a social media savvy new Soup, who has an agenda of her own. On top of that, the supervillain threat takes center stage and makes waves as Vought seeks to capitalize on the nation's paranoia. Ryan was excited for the season of The Boys to see if they're going to continue with the story, and it was very good. It kept a lot of the stuff that worked in the first season, bringing it into this season. I like how they focused more on character growth for Homelander, the female, the Deep, Huey, and Billy. The new character Stormfront was a welcome addition to the series. Black Noir had chances to shine. This season is more raunchier and more shocking than the last season. And the last did accomplish both things. And this season, on a happy note, also setting up things for season 3. In the cons, it took a while for me to get on what's happening this season. The violence were overdone at times. A-Train didn't have a lot to do, and a few moments didn't stick well with me. I agree, right, with all of that. I think that's a brilliant summation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the big when I said it took a while to get into this season, right around episode 4, episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Pretty much A-Train, which was a big focus on last season, didn't do a lot of things that much this year.
I agree. When you see him on screen, you kind of want that character to have more going on. But then he and the Deep are doing this rehabilitation thing, aren't they? You know, with the church. So he's kind of going through that, and we'll see him again. He reestablished himself.
Oh, yeah, pretty
Plot
much.
spoiling, by the way. I should just say, if you're interested in The Boys and you don't want us to spoil the plot, be wary, because it's going to be hard for us not to.
I feel bad for the Deep. because now he's just let down.
Okay, so again, potential plot spoiling. At the end of this series, we find out that the Deep, who's done everything he thinks society asks of him to redeem himself, he doesn't get redeemed, and he gets a bit upset.
No, he gets what? Oh, this to get me back with the 7.
Yeah, everything he's doing is to get him back to his former glory. So he apologizes for being a misogynist. He's a very funny character. I love the actor that plays him.
To remember him from some Gossip Girl.
Okay,
I wouldn't know. Pretty much it.
I think the only character I know in the whole thing is Mr. Edgar and Butcher. They're the only actors that I've seen before. Carl Urban and Jamal.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, Carl Urban.
I've got to say this, right, if we're talking about Homelander, right, the one thing that bothers me about Homelander is he has a scar on his forehead, and it's really distracting because he's meant to be superhuman. So how did he get that scar?
Oh.
Anyway, that's out of my system now. That's
also, I didn't realise that at all, really.
I'm sorry for pointing that out, Ryan.
No, it's a why. It's just I didn't realise that.
One of those things where an actor has a scar or something and it follows them wherever they go. Anyway.
Yeah, probably.
My favourite bit, Ryan, if I may, in the whole of season 2 is where Homelander is talking to the crowd and he's not winning them over, and then the soldier starts shouting at him and flips him, and he just gets so angry he just vaporizes.
Do have your vision of like getting
And it was like, oh my god, that's so cool, because you think Superman can do that.
Yeah, I'm like, they should have like put handcuffs on him right now.
Well, what's the good of that, right? He's
public enemy number one.
Maybe, but there's nothing you can do to stop him. He's a god. You know, he can do anything he likes. It's great. It is the Superman persona taken to the full extent. You know, what could he do?
Yeah,
well, he could just kill millions of people.
From the Injustice universe.
I see. Okay.
About like how much he's in this one. And I do like the moments, definitely with Billy Butcher, when it goes up to the actual Homelander's dad.
Oh, yes, yeah.
You know,
Dr. Vogelbaum, yeah.
Yeah, as in talking about like what Homelander's like as a child.
Yeah.
Which, I'll admit, that line was so well done.
Yeah, you say the interest in Homelander is really good this season. It's nice to hear his backstory because he's such a complicated, interesting character. Go on.
Oh yeah, I was actually shocked in episode 7, the courtroom, with all the heads.
That was gross.
I'm like, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, the sound of it happening, you just hear. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, if that Magneto Power Girl, she's like in the courtroom somehow, or
reveal at the very end of the last episode, which is really good fun. You should just watch it and then have that.
Spoilers.
Make the point. It's very political. It's written by Garth Ennis, who is very interested. He's an Irishman. He writes for 2000 AD comics, where Judge Dredd comes from. He's very interested in America. He's like an American buff. And he's very much interested in politics. And at the moment, they've got this, I forget whether it's episode 2, where Stormfront is doing the social media thing. And she's talking about we need to close our borders and we need to protect ourselves from the soups. And there's that opening sequence with the guy who has his headphones in and he's listening to the media and he's getting more and more paranoid. And eventually he decides to accost a gentleman who's running a corner shop who happens to be from the Middle East. And he shoots him. And it's all based on this paranoia. Basically, it's about Donald Trump's rhetoric. Stormfront is representing Donald Trump's sort of xenophobic, anti-immigrant rhetoric. And I think that's really clever.
Yeah. And I've actually was interested in Stormfront this season.
Yes.
I was using social media, actually trying to drive Homelander so far to the limit.
So working on his popularity, she uses memes and trolls to create impressions of negativity or positivity based on what. Yeah.
And I just love the bit at the end of the episode where he said, "He bit my fucking tits." I thought that was great.
When you say it gets raunchy, I mean, that's how Superman would probably do his thing as well. I don't ever get
evil Superman, but not good Superman.
I mean, if I may, Ryan, one of the things about The Boys that's a bit gross, but I think is really clever, is they keep getting into these promiscuous positions, right? And then they keep killing people with their butt cheeks or their hand or something because they're superhuman. And about Lois Lane and Clark Kent, I don't think that makes sense. There's no way that Superman...
Oh, no, in a normal Superman, no.
Is getting on with a normal woman and not breaking her in half. It's just physics.
Yeah. It'll probably be fair. And I actually love the fact that Stewie...
Yeah.
Not Stewie, sorry. I'm talking Family Guy.
Yeah.
Stewie, I like the fact that he's actually stand up a lot for himself this season. Well, sometime to a Billy Butcher, probably most of the 7 this season.
He's shown that he's got heart and he's got a bit of courage. And had some interesting character development for Billy Butcher as well. the Carl Urban character. He's had some interesting backstory.
Be such like a complete arsehole at times.
He can, but he's also
when he's like trying to interact with his dad.
Yeah, but the dad's not a very nice character, is he?
No. Or even any member of the Butcher family.
Mum and his aunt are nice, and they talk about his younger brother who died, and so he gets this human side to him, because in the first series he was a bit of a stock two-dimensional character. He was just, I've got a vendetta and I'm going to do it.
Mixed with Carl Urban's charisma.
Absolutely, yeah, he's great on screen. He and Homelander just have this presence, the actor that plays Homelander. And you can just watch their faces, they don't need to say anything.
Even that clip in the last episode, well, in the first season, when he tried to run over a soup with his own car.
All right, Billy.
Yeah, all across Stewie's old play that he's worked with.
That's a fantastic fight with translucent. And I love how he points out, translucent means semi-transparent. It doesn't mean invisible. You idiot.
Yeah. Well, the grace that he actually just found a way to actually spit the blood on his face.
That's clever.
In order to find the Invincible Man. There is one way to defeat him. Use blood to try to find his invincible self.
Yeah, we've not seen that before. They play with tropes that we're used to, the Invisible Man, Superman, that kind of thing. But they do it in very interesting, grown-up, kind of realistic, if you will, ways. Yeah. It's great fun.
Even try to kill the Deep's one of Deep's friends, which is a giant whale.
Oh, that's so sad.
which this is awesome.
This is great, isn't it? They're suddenly in a whale.
Surprised they had Sean Ashmore in it.
Who's that, Ryan?
Oh, from the, not the Pyro. Iceman from the X-Men.
Nope. Probably not seen it, Ryan.
Oh.
Who is he in the program?
So I think he played the similar power to Pyro from the X-Men.
Lamplighter.
Yes, Lamplighter.
Okay, yeah. He's got some character too. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, and I'm actually disappointed he died in the next episode.
How he dies is very interesting. We won't go into that now.
No. But I will say, this is a very good TV show, which I actually really like how the final confrontation ended.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it was very clever and really good action. Well paced. I love the kicking that Stormfront gets by
definitely by the three superhero girls.
Kimiko,
Starlight, and Green Maeve.
Girls get it done. But it's so funny because it's not the kind of fight you're used to seeing in these DC Marvel films. It is just a shit kick. It's just them kicking her in the face when she's down and just beating her to a pulp. And it's very violent. And it kind of makes you realise that all this violence is not really that entertaining. It's actually quite horrible.
Oh, yeah. And also, he didn't bother fighting Mac. He just goes straight to Billy Butcher and his son.
I suppose if you can fly, you would just fly away, wouldn't you? If you're getting the shit kicked out of you. But,
yeah, you should fly away. Goodbye.
It's one of those programs where realistic things happen, and I like that.
Yeah.
If I may say, Ryan, one of the cons for me, and it's sort of a con, is that in the first series, they actually fight crime. If you think about it, the first few episodes, they are actually out fighting bad guys. But in the second series, they're just sitting around on film sets. They're in their flats. They're not doing anything that's actually heroic.
Oh, yeah, but I did like the way they social commentary on modern superhero tropes.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, with Superman, why superheroes haven't killed yet. And I love about the shows where it's how they predicted a lot of these heroes, how they predicted them as just normal people as well.
You mean portrayed them as normal people? That they're not just drawings, they're not just comic book characters, they're real people. Yeah.
Basically real life, sample with actors portraying superheroes in on film.
I mean, in a sense, it wouldn't work if we hadn't had so many superhero movies. The program is a response to the superhero franchise. That's what I was getting at, is that we don't see them fighting crime. We just see them enriching the franchise. In season 2, they're just making movies. They are, doing promotion. I love Homelander at the school as well, Ryan. Do you remember there's the bit Homelander says, if your school gets attacked by a supervillain, don't worry, like call the alarm, lock the door, your teacher will have a gun. This is all very anti-Donald Trump rhetoric as well. It's making fun of Donald Trump's America, but with superheroes thrown on top. I mean, Homelander would be a Trump supporter, definitely. Yeah.
Laser vision, anyone.
Yeah, if you go to the polls, he'll laser you. Yeah.
And Donald Trump will probably say that was great.
So whether or not the program is going to try and guess what the next year will look like, I'm just thinking, because it is very politically savvy, contemporary satire, whether they're going to see or if they're going to start making the program now.
I think next season, I think they're going to parody the Avengers.
Okay.
And it's got that bloke from Supernatural.
Oh, fantastic, Ryan. So this is, this about season 3. They've got a Captain America type character and it's going to go a bit more Marvel.
Yeah, and also it's played by the same guy who did Red Hood.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but if you do, that's...
Oh, you'll probably check it out yourself afterwards.
I'll watch The Boys instead, Ryan, I think. I mean, it's had a very DC thing recently. Maeve is Wonder Woman, Black Noir, Homelander.
I was going to say Batman.
Oh, you're Batman. Perfect. Sorry, Ryan. That makes more sense. He's Batman. Homelander's Superman. The Deep is Aquaman. So it's very much a DC cast right now. But if they get some Marvel characters in, that'll be great.
If you think about The Boys.
Yes. Yeah, it's a satire and a parody. Well done, Ryan. Absolutely. All these things. It's great. It's comedy. It's good fun. It's grown up, but it is really worth your time.
Oh, just before we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the weekend. Something to watch over the weekend. It's the Rise of 4 ECW on the WWE network.
Okay, is that a documentary?
Yeah, about the rise and the fall of Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Okay, what I'll do, Ryan, I'll put that review in our comments of the YouTube video so people can check out your review and then they can know more about it.
So, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you on Thursday.
All right, mate. Thank you very much, Ryan, for that Halloween content, and we'll speak to you again soon. All right, mate. Take care. Bye.
Bye.